HP is bringing really simple, sleek, and premium peripherals to the market, and we continue with those reviews with the Spacer. Good afternoon, morning, and welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, I'm Reese of the 4-piece variety or Wooks Triple XL. And HP Omen has really genuinely been impressing me continuously. Even with their Victus laptops, that and the Omen are some of my top picks and suggestions. And generally on price point, they're also pretty damn solid. So when they said, hey, we've got a whole line of peripherals, do you want to have a look? I was like, yes, please. And I've done some of their webcams. And this is the first of their two keyboards that I went after because this is a TKL setup, which is my preferred sort of size. I like this, and 70% or 75s, I think, is actually technically the setups for what I've got on my GMMK Pro, but 70s and up to 80, 85s or 80s, I can't actually remember the percentage anyway, but TKL, 10 keyless, I think it's still an 80% keyboard, is what this comes out to, because you still get arrow keys and all your home functions and all of the rest of it. So it's just numpad less. So it's just a little bit small on the desk, makes it just that much easier not to bash it with your mouse. But this one, sorry Vader, this one, and like its other compatriots, is actually wireless. So what do you get in the box? Well, you get very cool little dongle, very, very nice connecting block, and then the braided cable that you see there on your screen. Finished in an angular Type-C, so it does clean up the desk as well inherently if you do need to connect it to power, which I don't see you needing to do in general, because 75 hours battery life. I used it for 3 full days and I still haven't charged it. And that was just straight out of the box and it still got power. So that claim on 75 hours is probably extremely accurate, and it does quick charge as well. So yeah, you at max, I think you'll probably be needing to plug it in for 10 minutes every so few days. Their rating is 5 minutes charge for 6 hours worth of then playtime. So 10-minute charge for 12 hours is effectively the sort of rate. You're probably going to look at 20 for that. But if you do get to a low power state, you probably can connect it for an hour and then disconnect it for the rest of the week. So really good job as far as the wireless and battery functions go. They are good. I did also test some range on this, and it is considerable. If you're talking line of sight, you could probably get 10 meters out of it. So if you wanted to use it for like a conferencing environment or that sort of setup as well, because of how sleek and, you know, unassuming it looks as being a mechanical keyboard, maybe you just need it for a long lifetime in an area where you need a wireless keyboard, then it's going to do the job as far as wireless and battery life goes. And as far as lifetime goes, well, they've employed CherryMX switches. So we get into the keyboard itself. Keycaps, I'm not a huge fan. I've got to be honest with you. They could have done a little bit of a better job on the finish. I don't like the glossy sort of textured finish like this, or this in between matte. It's very smooth and stuff. It doesn't feel bad underneath the finger. I prefer the textured, the old school texture, just personal preference. And to answer that call, they've put in a north-facing LED, haven't they? So you can use custom keycaps on this keyboard, and then the middle row shouldn't misalign. Well done, HP. Very good job there. I see your R&D department is definitely sleeping at night. Speaking of R&D, though, LED, it is what it is. What you see is what you get. There is absolutely no way to change the backlighting. So WASD and the arrows are in red, the rest are in white. Shine through is very good though. It is very good, especially on north facing. You do find that because of a north facing, the extra keys, so like the percentages, for instance, on your number keys, are a little bit dim, especially in a darker room environment, which is generally the payoff from having a north-facing LED. The deck itself and the construction of it are extremely good. This thing is rigid on rigid. It has absolutely no flex in it. There must be some sort of aluminium inside of here, because this is quite a hefty boy as well. Just on a kilogram, just under a kilo is what you're going to be set back for that. Really nicely done controls on the back over here as well. You've got your power and then your USB Type-C on the top right. Underneath, 4 rubberized feet, no kickstands. However, something I would like to see them add in the second generation of this product. One of the nicest palm rests I've ever gotten with a kit though. This leather red finish, I'm not sure if it is real leather or not. Actually, let me just do a smell test. It actually smells like real leather. So I actually can't tell, but the quality is great. If I can't tell, it means the quality is good. The feel of it is very comfortable. It's a very nice typing experience. Speaking of, little audio test. Typical of plastic flatback keyboards to have that sort of stock. One thing that they can look at immediately though is a little bit of lube for the stabilizers. The keys on the side are not so bad, but the spacebar, that is not the way, brother. You're going to want to put some lubrication on either side of that. No extra special functions either, and no software. What you see is what you get here. It's just going for an ultra premium finish with the basics done as best as humanly possible. It's the fact that it comes with genuine CherryMX switches. You know, those are not exactly on the cheaper variety. These ones are browns, and while I detest brown switches, and you guys actually love them because I did a poll and it actually came out ahead. I don't know why you guys like this. Why not linear? I don't understand, but it's fun. The tactile works, and the Cherry's browns are still good. And they still, even though I hate the way it feels, the keyboard itself is not to blame for that. It is good. Overall, I got to say this build quality is fantastic. Definitely gives me anti-home invader vibes. The basics are done really, really well with this. The connecting block is nicely finished. Everything's got the square HP Omen logo on it, so you'll know exactly which cable is supposed to go with which. So even the dongle has an Omen on the back of it. So their branding and stuff is good. As a first generation product, as their first attempt at a premium TKL, they've definitely knocked it out of the park. There's absolutely no question that there's still really good implied market position and value. And I like that it is unique, and it looks like an Omen product that would fit with the other Omen products, with the way that they've done the hand rest and that sort of stuff. Things that I would change though. There are a couple of additions that I would love to see on the next generation product. One of those being some software, just some basic stuff to do some macros, and throw in linking with that on the function key so that we can reprogram functions and stuff that maybe some of us don't use. Another function that I would like to see, obviously, is RGB backlighting. I think at 3,000 Rand plus, most users are going to want to have the ability to customize it so that it fits with the rest of the build. Right now, this makes it so that it only fits with other HP Omen products or other products that come with white and red. The keycaps as well, while the quality is not the worst I've ever seen, I really would prefer a different finish on these, something a bit more textured and in line with like what I saw on the Strike 6 or a 6GB2, for instance. A lot of, or like also 6GB2s, but I was just going to say a lot of keyboard manufacturers are still doing this. So if you look at like Corsair K65s or some of the Razors as well, Black Widows, etc., they do come with a textured key setup, which is what I would see changed on this. The rest of it, the actual construction, you don't have to touch. The rest of it is really good. I really like this product finish. I think it's absolutely fantastic. The rigidity of the build is incredible. I would not feel, if a guy came at me with a knife and I had this in my hands, I would feel quite safe. That's how strong it is. They made an absolute tank of a keyboard. The finishing products are really good. The palm rest, all great. These are other things that you can modify generation on generation, and just so you, really what I'm saying is the foundation is incredibly good, but we need to make a few house alterations. Anywho, that is all I have for you on the Omen Spacer. Hope you guys have enjoyed this review. If you have, then please do hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the flip side.